lunch break. So we're gonna start with just sitting in the chair so that your spine is in a neutral position. So if you feel a little slouchy, you can sit up a little higher in your chair. Depending on the chair, if it has any wheels or anything, you wanna make sure that it's just steady. So you might, if you can lock the wheels down or something like that. But otherwise, just sit up. And then you're gonna rest your shoulders and your arms in a position that feels soft and receptive. So for some people, it's better if the palms are up. And then for other people, it might be better if the palms are down, and you can cup one palm inside the other if that works better for you as well. Just give your shoulder kind of a sense that it's resting in the body in a good way. And then experiment with how your hands work and pick the one that you like best. And you can close your eyes if that's helpful, and if it's not, ooh, maybe it makes you sleepy. You can leave your eyes open just a little slit and just let them softly focus out on the floor in front of you. Soften all the muscles around your eyes. So we're going to let the eyes grow a little kinder and a little softer. Relax the muscles around the ears and the jaw. And let the lips grow a little softer and a little fluffier. Just noticing the shoulders and letting the shoulders relax. Letting the legs relax, toes uncurl. Pausing in this state of just open receptivity. Take a few more breaths. Chin fall down toward the chest. Try not to lean forward. Keep the spine neutral. And then just move the head a little to the right, a little to the left. See if you can find any places that feel a little tight in the back of your neck. You can pause with any place that feels especially tight. We're going to let the head kind of roll over one shoulder so that the ear kind of moves over the shoulder past the collarbone with the chin and then over to the ear. Now my shoulders love to try to help, so they'll try this. They'll hunch up a little bit. So I'm trying to resist that urge. Resist that inclination and just let the head move. Go gently and slowly. One side to the other. Now when we get down to the bottom, we're going to let the head float up. And then keeping the chin level, turn the head as far around to the left as you can go without straining, and then as far around to the right as you can go. Try to let the shoulders relax down your back, especially if they have a tendency to lift when you twist your head around. Good. One more on each side. Just working all the muscles in our neck. The neck is really important when it comes to our parasympathetic or relaxation portion of our nervous system. When the neck muscles are tight and their head is not positioned well on the spine, it can cause a sense of kind of wanting to withdraw or that just kind of wanting to hide or go inward instead of exploring outward. So if it, like some of us are naturally inclined that way, a little introverted, but if you find yourself feeling introverted when you're not naturally that way, you can check in on the tension in your neck and shoulders and see if there's a little chance to relax some of that. So I'm rolling my shoulders forward, up, and then inward as I pull them down. Okay, so pushing the shoulder blades forward, pulling them up, pushing them together in my back and rolling them down. So just making a little range of motion movement with the shoulder blades. My arms are along for the ride. And we can't separate the neck and the shoulders. All of it is one big connective tissue web. So hopefully we're feeling some of that movement. All right, so when you get to the bottom, we're going to switch the direction. So I'm going to push the shoulder blades together, then pull them up, push them forward, and pull them down. Just working with those. One more. Okay, so we're going to give the arms a little bit more freer movement. Kind of just you can swing them. And then concentrate on one arm, give it a little shake out. And then do the other. So now we're going to make some circles with the arms. So we're going to start with big circles, but go slow. Just make sure your arms are willing to do these big circles. Go the opposite direction. Whatever the range of motion is that your arms will actually do, or that you have room for in your house. And we're going to make a medium-sized circle, and I change like which way my palms are facing as I rotate, so I feel different muscles. Now go the opposite direction. All right, now we're gonna make teeny, teeny, tiny circles. Reach the arms out, and try to keep the neck relaxed as we really work the top of the shoulder. Go the other direction. Can you feel it? It's awesome. Ooh, all right, let the arms hang. Ooh, and shake them out. So we're going to pull the shoulders up and ooh, let them drop. Pull them up. Oh, pull them up. And, ooh. Good. One more. Oh. Okay, hopefully the arms, the shoulders, the upper back all feels really nice. So we're going to work a little bit more with the spine as a whole, doing some cat shapes. So I'm going to slide forward on my chair so I've got plenty of room to round my back like a cat. And then I'm going to lean the pelvis forward, broaden open the chest, and turn this into sort of a cobra shape, seated cobra. So cats and cobras, oh, I'm not sure those normally get along, but in this case they do. Rounding. And lifting the breastbone and pushing the rib cage forward a little. So we get the two shapes. Now there's a tendency for me to overdo this shape with my lower back. So what I'm concentrating on is pulling my collarbones wide, drawing my shoulder blades together. So I'm creating more movement in my upper back. And then with this movement, there's a tendency to do this more with my upper back. So I'm really concentrating on curling in through my tailbone and making my lower back do that shape. So we're kind of noticing the inclination of different parts of our spine and then working them in their kind of opposite directions. Two more. Excellent. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. My feet are on the floor. I've got a nice kind of steady place. And then we're going to do these little washing machine moves, just a little agitation. Just notice, like, is one side a little easier twist than the other? Maybe it corresponds to an easier twist that you found with your neck. Maybe it's even on both sides. That would be awesome. So you're going to pick a side, and we're going to sit up tall a little bit more so. Press the sit bones down, lift through the breastbone, and then just see if you can get the upper back to spiral. So I'm going to try to bring, in this case I turned left, so I'm going to try to bring my right shoulder blade a little bit forward, and my left shoulder blade a little bit backward, and then keeping that kind of notion, I'm going to unwind a little bit around my lower back so that I'm concentrating this effort in my shoulder girdle upper back area. and my lower back is allowed to just twist the way it would normally like to. If I feel a hip coming up off the chair, definitely overdoing it with the lower back. And now the hips are trying to help. Good, last breath here. Excellent, we're gonna unwind. And then we're gonna jiggle the rib cage forward and back. And if you have really tight muscles in the middle of your back, you will feel them here as you attempt to move just your rib cage forward and back. And the shoulders are along for the ride, but we're not trying to move the shoulders. And then we're going to try to move the ribs side to side. And again, the shoulders are along for the ride. I'm trying to get my ribs to move. So the spine has all these different movements, twists, side movements, front to back flexion and extension movements. We don't always do them. We might spend an inordinately long period of time with our spine in one position. Feels nice to do the other. Okay, so we're going to rotate the other way. And again, I'm going to start like wherever I land. And then I'm going to try to get my shoulders to do a little bit more. So I'm going to bring my left shoulder blade forward and my right shoulder blade back. And let that become more the focus of my twist. Lightening up just a little bit on the area below my navel. We can overdo the low back where it doesn't really love to twist to try to get more twist in this upper part of our back. There's my salad. Take a big breath. Unwind your pose. All right. Just move a little bit. So we're going to take the legs out wide. We're going to do two different things here. We're going to do a forward bend and a little side stretch. We're going to start with the side stretch. So make sure that you're steady enough, stable enough, that you don't feel like you're going to fall off your chair. And then we're going to come forward, or sideways, over to one side, and then sideways forward, over to the other side. So go back and forth. One of the yoga teachers from the Midlothian branch used to call this blown palm, and I love it so much, although it's a very windy day this palm tree is having. So, stretching over. Stretching over one more time on the other side. That evens me out. And so then I'm going to take a side and really get into it. So I'm going to go to my right first. So I'm going to turn my rib cage to the left. I'm going to find my spot here for my elbow, and then I'm going to lengthen through the side. Now that might be all that happens here is I just do this version. I can turn this into more of a side angle pose by turning a little bit more so I have some space, and then extending this leg, okay? So now I've got those same actions, lengthening through both sides, reaching out, and maybe I've added that leg in place as well. I like this pose a lot. I just went way inward. Now I'm remembering, oh yeah, you guys are there. Take one more breath. Then we're going to come out of there. Sorry about that, yogis. This is one of the dangers of doing the yoga on your own, see, is that you get into it. Now, so feeling that one side of my body feels a little taller, a little longer, a little unwound, a little untwisted. And so this side now wants the same treatment. Now I know that I'm going to go into that full side angle, so I'm just going to arrange myself that way. But what you can do is go back to the V, if you like, and do it that way. So I'm going to extend this leg. My elbow is here, but I'm lifting and lengthening through the side waist. And then I'm going to add my shoulder, so I'm turning the arm in and stretching. So I get that all the way through my whole side. Oh, it's delicious. Breathe nice and deep. One more big breath. Let's come on up. Whoa, we're going to bring that leg back. And as promised, we're going to also do a forward bend. So we're coming back to this wide angle. I slide back on the chair just a little bit because I tend to go right off the chair if I'm too close to the edge. So just giving my spine a little moment to adjust. And then we can just fold forward a little bit. And for some of us, that's going to be all that happens because the pelvis doesn't tilt forward when the legs are out wide. Having the knees bent is definitely helpful. So you can put the elbows on the thighs, that's another way, and then lengthen through the spine. And then if your chair is not too tall, or if you have the length of body to do this, you can come all the way down to the floor. I'm going to stay on the elbows or on my hands, just so I can really create that length, because this chair is very tall for me. And I feel like I am basically just being lifted off the chair. Do what's right for you. I'm just trying to like elongate through my side waist. Beautiful. Take one more breath. And we're going to come all the way up. And maybe that was a little inner thigh stretch for you as well. So I'm just going to add a little release for my back. All right. So we're going to do some work with one leg. You get to pick which one. I'm going to start with the left side. So I'm going to scoot a little bit forward on my chair, and I'm going to pick this leg up. Now, not everybody's going to be able to get their leg up in the air, so if that's the case, what you can do is just put your big toe on the floor, or the ball mound of your foot, but leave your heel in the air, and we're going to take the leg. You can just wobble it back and forth. We want to get movement in the hip socket, so either way will work. This way is called rock the baby. I don't know if it's obvious why, but it's more obvious for really bendy people because they can pull their leg in right up into their armpit and into their chest. So it looks a little closer to a baby. I don't know if I would rock a baby this way. But in any case, I'm getting movement in my hip joint, which is really the point. All right, so then you can either put the ankle across the thigh, or you can go across your shin. Make sure that your knee doesn't complain about this. So any complaint in the knee is something to pay attention to. So if these two lower leg bones twist at all, it can cause trouble for the knee. So keeping the foot flexed and those bones really nicely structured can help. And then sometimes just we're asking too much of the hip, and so the knee pays the price. So sit up nice and tall. If you feel sensation in your outer hip, you're there. These are deep muscles. You may not feel a lot of sensation. Any sensation is enough. So if you feel anything, you're there. If you don't feel anything, you can lean forward. Try to bring the pelvis forward because the area that we're stretching connects the glute and the hip. It is in fact glutes. So connects the leg to the hip. Glutes and other muscles in their general area. The buttock region. So I'm going to take 2 more big breaths. Now we're going to back off, we're going to take that leg out and just hold on to it for a moment and then spin your foot in circles. And then go the other direction. And then we're going to point and flex. Oh, that's my favorite, I love that. I'm getting movement in all the bones in my feet. Oh, it feels good. Okay. So give that leg a little shake. And then we're going to leave this leg straight and fold toward it. So hopefully I'm going to experience a little hamstring stretch this way. It's not a big hamstring stretch, don't worry about it. We're coming back. This is a little primer. Okay, big inhale. Come on back up, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other leg. So we're either rocking our baby or you're wobbling. We're going to put that guy up on top, adjust so we've got these shin bones nice and secure. Sit up tall. Maybe the hips want to hinge forward. Maybe they don't. Maybe you got enough happening over here in this outer hip. take this leg out, hold onto it, give that foot a little spin. Ooh, go the other direction. And then point and flex. Release your leg, give everything a little shimmy. Then we're going to straighten that leg out and try to fold down toward it. And again, you might feel this in your hamstrings, especially if they're tight, you're going to feel it. Just bringing that pelvis forward. But if they're not that tight, maybe this one doesn't do it for you, but don't worry, we'll get it. Sometimes we're too aggressive with the hamstrings anyway. They tear at the butt bone. We don't want to get that crazy. It's a little love. All right, so we're going to inhale our way back up, and then we'll take the legs, give them a little shake. Now, we're going to need a strap for the rest of the class, and we're going to do some balancing poses. So if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a dog leash, you can use a scarf, you can use a rope, a belt, anything that just extends the length of your arm. So I've got my strap buckled through to make a big loop, and I do find the loop helpful. So if you take your ends of your scarf and tie them together, or the dog leashes sometimes have like that little loop for your hand, that might work. Or you can, buckle a belt. So anything that works. So we're gonna try this, and if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna show you what to do if you don't have a strap or if you can't get the strap to work, okay? So we're gonna stand beside the chair, and the foot that's closest to the chair is the leg that I'm gonna stand on. The other foot I'm gonna put into this loop, and then I'm gonna attempt to bring my legs straight up, okay? And hold steady. If I can let go of the chair and balance, awesome. If I can't, I'm gonna keep a little light fingertip pressure on that chair, trying to let myself balance as best I can. Okay? It's nice. And it can get wobbly. Okay, last breath. Now we're gonna bend this knee and bring the strap around behind us. Okay, this is where the loop comes in handy. So I'm gonna turn sideways so it's easy to see what I'm up to, but you don't have to turn sideways. So I'm gonna take this strap, reach back, and then I'm gonna try to lift my thigh up behind me. And if I can let go of the chair and hold the balance, great. And if I can't, the chair is here to help me reestablish the balance as I wobble. So I wanna let my body wobble a little bit, but I don't wanna fall. This is harder when you have a strap in your hand. Okay, so one more breath. Beautiful, then we're gonna take the leg down, unwind, woo, give everything a jiggle. That was fun. Before we do the other side, we're gonna do a little downward facing dog. So we're gonna walk backwards, make sure I've got enough room, and give ourselves a big stretch. Oh, that feels so good. All right, yogis. So bring yourself forward. This is gonna be a little bit of a spinal balance before we do our other side. So that same leg that I was lifting last time, I'm actually gonna stand on this time, okay? So my right leg is my standing leg, my left leg comes up behind me, and if I can do it, I'm gonna take my right arm off the chair. Stretch between those 2 points, draw in through the sides of your waist and up through your navel. So I've got a nice balance going here. Good, beautiful, big breath. And then bring the hand down, bring your leg down. Excellent. And then we'll come straight back up. Whew. Felt good, didn't it? Or weird, anyway. Either one is good for me. All right, I'm gonna move my chair this way so I'll have a little bit of room on the other side. It's possible that you are not surrounded by plants, and this will not be problematic. Okay, so I'm gonna put my left foot in the strap, and I'm standing on my right leg. Got the chair here for balance. I'm gonna lift that leg up nice and high. I'm gonna tighten my strap up just a little bit. So I've got a little better grip. Okay, try again. Here we go. So now I've got, if I can, that balance. And if it gets really wobbly because the strap is tricky, I can do it without. And if I want to do it without, I just do it without. I just lift my leg. Ta-da! Just lift the leg. I forgot to show you that last time. One more breath. This one's harder for some reason. All right, so today, every day is a new day with me and balance. I'm going to take this leg behind me. I'm going to try to lift my thigh and then see if I can let go of the chair and hold. And thumb. Good, yogis, take a breath. I'm going to let go. Release the leg on back. I hope that was fun. I enjoyed it. So we're going to do downward facing dog first. So we'll take ourselves, hands to the chair, walk it on back. Big long stretch. And then bring yourself in so you're basically shoulder over wrist here. I'm gonna take my left leg out. No, right one. That's the one I was standing on. And then my left arm out and stretch between those 2 points. Draw in through the sides of the waist and stretch. Beautiful, one more breath. And bring the hand down, bring the leg down. And then come back up to standing. All right, give yourself a little shimmy, little dance moves. And then we're gonna come back around to sit. My chair's okay. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of core work, and that's gonna be a boat pose. So the boat pose can be a little bit tricky. I'm gonna turn sideways, because that's a little bit easier for me, but you can stay on the chair. Now you need to get pretty close to the edge. So you're gonna want a little bit of room. If I turn sideways, I have a little bit of more room, because we're gonna need to lean back to get the boat pose to work, okay? So we're gonna lift the heart, hold in the navel. What we don't want is this, where the belly button moves forward and the low back collapses. We need to keep that low back nice and steady, so we're holding the navel and lengthening, okay? And then leaning this whole thing back. That might be enough core work that you don't need to do anything else today. Just hold that position. You can lift one leg up and hold that for a bit. We'll do that. If you can take both legs up, cool. I'm gonna do that on the second half. Okay, so we'll put that leg down, bring the other leg up, or if you can, I've gotta get a little more room here. Bring both legs up, keep lifting, keep that navel in, and hold steady. So you're either doing one leg or both. One more breath, and bring your legs down. Now, if you feel like your low back is in really big trouble, that's something you're going to work your way up to, so you're going to come back to just this boat, okay? Just holding that steady incline rather than take the step that you took. So we just always want to protect our back, especially when we're building our strength. All right, yogis, come back to just sitting, nice and steady. We're going to take a few deep breaths and just let ourselves return to that sort of open, receptive, relaxed muscle state. So relax around your eyes. And let your eyes grow a little kinder, so that when we look out into the world, we look out with kindness and receptivity. And let your jaw relax. And let your shoulders relax. Just find that state where it feels like you're open and soft and receptive. And notice how the breath just drops in, fills the whole body, and then gently lifts away. big inhale. Exhale out a big sigh. Thank you for joining me for chair yoga lunchtime, a little lunch break. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Greetings to the rest of your day.